following content may contain subject matter that is inappropriate for children. Viewer discretion is advised. What's going on, bitches? Welcome back to the Blackfire Technical Analysis YouTube channel. I am your host, Crypto Bro, and we are back at it again. We missed yesterday. Shit happens. It is what it is. It didn't miss too much excitement, though. But here we are. It is so freaking cold. You guys, it is so freaking cold outside. It's disgusting. My car read -7 on the drive home tonight. -7. What is that? Why? I hate winter so much. Oh, shit. But we're here. We got plenty to discuss tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We have plenty of requests, so I'm pretty excited about that. Excuse me. Yeah, we do have plenty of requests here. If you guys, oh shit, I can't even talk. It does look like we have 2 viewers right now. So if you guys have any requests that you want me to update for you guys in the live stream tonight, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. We are live on TikTok. Again, that's at BlackfireTA. All lowercase Blackfire, capital T, capital A. We're live. I'm trying to do videos. Sometimes I forget about it because, to be quite honest with everybody, TikTok's kind of a joke to me. But I'm recognizing the impact it has on the social media platforms. I mean, hell, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's TikTok is attached to freaking everything right now. So I understand the power that it can have for the community, you know, the power that it can have for growing the community. So I'm on TikTok. Come on through and follow me if you want. If not, okay. I think that's it. Oh yes, instructional video. I'm probably going to start recording tomorrow. I've been finalizing the details here. Again, when I'm doing these instructional videos for you guys, I'm trying to make sure that I'm improving as well, right? I don't want to release the same, I want to improve on the education, if that makes any sense. So a video that I made in the past, if I make it again, I want it to be an improved version of a video that I made in the past. And I'm pretty sure I did drop trend identification before as an instructional video, but that was trend identification via, longer term time frames, right? The daily, the weekly, etc. So I plan on diving extremely deep and giving you guys as much juicy critical information as humanly possible for that instructional video. That way you can see my perspective of trend identification no matter what time frame that you're looking at. So finalizing the details today. I finalized the details today. I will be recording tomorrow, so expect a new instructional video, I would say about 2 hours after tomorrow's live stream to pop up as well. So outside of that, we have plenty to talk about here today, and I thought I'd do things a little bit different here. We're going to start with the US dollar index. Very, very, very important index to be looking at right now. Very important to pay attention to what's going on in this market here. And I figured, let's draw some stuff, right? Let's start with a clean chart and let's, draw. That way you guys can see my perspective. So I'm looking at this low here, boom, all the way back to the 25th of May, 2021 here, or the 24th. Either one will work. That's where I'm going to put my trend line, boom. And then basically you're just going to look for touch points all the way up the hizzy. And boom, that's what we got. We got our diagonal trend line of peace and prosperity. Obviously, we've seen it break before, but structurally, as far as the structure is concerned for the US dollar index, it remains intact, right? We did not see a change of behavior below this point here, which, in my opinion, is now a critical level because it is confirmed as a structural high or low, in my opinion, now that we saw price action for the US dollar index confirm new highs. Boom. Now we're going to look for another level here of relevance, of significant relevance real quick. Again, I want to give you guys my perspective of what I'm looking at here. I could go by a wicking basis, right? Yeah, there's a lot of touch points with that wicking basis. Boom. Nice little beautiful support level there. I'm going to move this up here. It already looks like we are testing new tentative resistance for the US dollar index at the current moment in time. I do believe with confidence here, this one has a higher chance of moving up than not. Now, where's the next level? Well, what we need to do here is go ahead and scroll on back in time here and look for a market at which you know, we have more horizontal support and resistance. And right now, the closest significant or most relevant point to the current resistance level is the next resistance level up right around $97.67. We're gonna go ahead and mark that bad boy off. This is the level that I'm in, that I'm kind of paying attention to right now. God, I need to slow down. Give me 1 second. I'm talking way too fucking fast right now. So this is the level that I've been mentioning to you guys, you know, for quite some time. And again, this is the whole thing right here, right? Again, I preach it. I sound like a broken record all the time, you guys. If you fail to plan, your plan is to absolutely fail. And I've been planning for 97 bucks, 97 spot 70 for quite some time. Yes, even during this period of downside consolidation where we saw a lot of the pressure here being applied to the 21 and then eventually that region breaking to the downside. But again, what did I tell you guys? We could very easily confirm a structural higher low above the last structural higher low in this formation to confirm uptrend continuation. And technically we got the low confirmation here on the 12th. I would say the 13th. We got the confirmation of a low on the 13th, but again, you know, I was looking for potential downtrends to formulate. That didn't happen here. We actually reverted, confirmed a higher low. Boom! Now we're closing on new highs. Again, we did take out the last lower high in this formation with closures above 96.30, which spells a very good, a very juicy thing in my opinion for the U.S. dollar index. Yes, I am confident that we are resting on macro structural higher lows, and yes, I am confident that we have a higher probability of seeing the US dollar index continue than not. Now, why is this important, you may ask? Typically, and we'll cover a couple of we'll cover a couple of examples. But typically, when the US dollar index is booming to the upside, macro bull trend confirmation is had, and we are seeing the uptrend continue on. It is very, very, very typical to see everything else completely die. That's why the US dollar index is completely relevant in today's analysis, because this is the asset that I'm paying a lot of attention to here to kind of get directional ideas of where price action could go. Now, yes, we could confirm a high right here, revert back down to current support at 95.85 here, get a little bit of a back test upon that region here, boom, bounce up, continue on. But look at the 21 exponential here. We got our confirmation to enter here on the 24th of January, and now we're seeing, boom, follow through, continuation, new highs confirmed. That spells the goodness here for the US dollar index. Yes, I am very confident that the next target's going to be 97 spot, we'll call it 97 spot 70 here to the upside. We do see RSI again in confluence, right? In confluence with confirming a secondary candle closure above the 21 exponential. We see RSI do what? Confirm the 50 read as a new tentative support, confirming the break above and finally following through with continuation. We also saw stochastic, I do believe, break the 50 read as well, which is another critical confluent, confirmation, right? When you're looking to take a trade, remember, and it's been a while since I've talked about this, but when you're looking to take a trade, guys, you're looking to build a case, right? You're an investigator. It's like you're a cop and you're investigating a murder, right? You can't put someone behind bars if you don't have the evidence to do so, right? And it's the same thing with trading. You cannot take a trade unless you have the evidence that gives you the confidence to do so. And that is what we're looking at exactly right here with the US dollar index, confirming above the 50 read on, stochastics and RSI, seeing continuation of follow through and confirming macro higher lows. I am very confident that this one continues to the upside until proven otherwise. That only proof otherwise at the current moment in time, would be new lows, to be quite honest with you. Price action would have to achieve new lows below 94.85 for me to be convinced that we don't see bullish continuation to the next relevant level to the upside here, because we're seeing actual momentum, we're seeing real momentum being carried up with this price action. There is a lot of evidence here to suggest continuation, and until proven otherwise, yes, I am looking for a breach of resistance, new highs, and price action to carry itself towards 97.70 here for the US dollar index. Now we're going to go take a look at NASDAQ, which isn't looking so hot right now. Currently resting on new lows, barely, but close enough is close enough. We are currently resting on new lows, which does not bode well, in my opinion, for price action here. We do have a relevant level to the downside that we are going to be focused on for quite some time here until proven otherwise. And this is what caught everybody's eye in the Blackfire Technical Analysis group chat today. This is what caught my freaking eye, right? I woke up to see price action absolutely ripping. I was like, oh, maybe this is the bounce. Maybe this is a relief rally. Maybe we see moves all the way up to the 21 exponential here. Maybe even a little higher, just below the last lower high at 15,675 over a period of time before, you know, again, inevitably seeing potential continuation to the downside with the bear market, right? But no. We saw price action pump up and get immediately rejected, actually confirming this level at 14,200 as new tentative resistance. We do have a point of relevance within this region here that is confirmed and is currently rejecting that region as tentative resistance. I will be looking for continuation to 13,740 next. Now, could we break that? Yes, if we do see an open and closure below that horizontal support here, I will be looking for follow through and continuation to the next major level to the downside, which is around 13,000 bucks even, or this prior low here that was confirmed on the 12th of May 2021. We come over here, we look at RSI, and we see this coiling bullshit starting to begin, playing out in the bearish control zone, which from my perspective is never a good thing. Never a good thing when we see coiling momentum oscillators in bearish territories. I mean, unless you're shorting, right? Unless you're making money moves to the downside. If you're just playing the long game here, or if you're hodling, it's not looking so good for you right now. As far as the RSI is concerned, we also see, a weak cross of the stochastics right now. But again, I do believe this is a weak cross. No real momentum has been proven to me just yet with this cross to the upside. Not only that, but we're coming off of massively lower lows. I mean, this is the lowest stochastics has been since this point here back in 2019. So if that's an indication of potential, of a potential bear market formulating here, I don't know what is. It's not looking good. This one's not looking good, guys. It is not looking good. So until proven otherwise, I am going to be looking for continuation furthermore towards that $13,750 target. Give me 1 second here. Oh, Matt's in the house. What's good, Matt? Looking to tear up this market, homie? Because I'm looking to tear up this market. This is what I've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. To be and again, I could be proven wrong, right? When in doubt, pull out. Technically, you could pull this out. You could pull this out, and you could be like, oh, but Brian, we could put a low here and continue the macro trend. Yes, absolutely. That point is valid. We could confirm a macro low within this region. Maybe even within this region, all the way down to 13,000 bucks. But it's just not looking like that to me. This is looking like a reversal, especially when you look at the weekly time frame. I mean, this is like one of the biggest downside movements that we've seen since the coronavirus crash, which technically wasn't even a crash, right? Because it confirmed a weekly macro higher low structure and continued the bull market to the upside. But nonetheless, what I'm actually hoping for, and again, this is just hope, right? This isn't valid. This isn't technically accurate. But what I'm hoping here is that we see the weekly just go into a long-term bear market. Because I'm looking to buy as many assets as I possibly fucking can. If this is confirmed as a bear market, if this is a legit long-term bear market, I'm looking to buy cycle lows via weekly Fibonacci retracements and sit on my hands and let some of those assets return to the bullish cycle of the market and make me a bunch of fucking money. But for now, that's kind of what I'm hoping here for basically everything turns bearish so I can buy shit at really cheap prices here, because I am looking to be an investor, not only a trader. There are assets that I want to purchase that I just want to sit on long term while it accumulates and grows my net worth. And then there's assets that I want to trade where I want to, make money every week, every 2 weeks, every couple days, every day, every hour, whatever. But for the general market as a whole, I am looking at pressure to the downside. Yes, we got some bounces. We got a little bit of relief. We got some of this price action to the downside to slow down, but it doesn't look like it wants to slow down anymore right now. So until proven otherwise, I am looking for continuation again down to that 13,725 zone here, and maybe even all the way down to 13,000 bucks even. The only proof that otherwise would be a breach of any resistance at this current point in time. We are currently utilizing 14,200 as the daily tentative resistance on NASDAQ, and until that level is taken out with confirmation, I will not be looking for prices to move up. However, if I do see that condition met, I will be looking for a test of the next resistance around 14,005 and maybe even a pop back up to 14,009. But again, as long as we are below 15,009, in my opinion, you know, it's tradable. Yes, it's very tradable. You can easily trade a bounce to the upside, but if we're talking about bullish continuation to new all-time highs, I am not convinced until we print and confirm higher highs in this formation. Until then, I am full on bearish to the downside. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Look at SPY futures here. This one currently looking to potentially change behavior. Again, this one wasn't as close to changing behavior, right? We didn't even see a change of behavior. We saw a change of behavior on NASDAQ. We saw new macro lower lows on NASDAQ, but we did not see them on SPY futures. And guess what? What did I say last week? I said it's very possible that we see the same type of price action on SPY futures, right? Rotations have to set in and blah, 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 blah. And look at this. Price action currently resting below the change of behavior points at 42.90. If we do see a candle closure below that region here, I will be looking for price action to meet the next major target to the downside. We're at around 41.40. Now we see RSI doing the same thing as NASDAQ, coiling in the bearish control zone. Doesn't look healthy. Lowest it's been since 2020. This is the lowest RSI has been since 2020. Bearish, not looking good. Stochastics, lowest it's been since 2020. Same thing. Showing a little bit of a signal, a little bit of a stronger cross to the upside, but still not convincing since we see stochastics in the bearish critical zone, right? So the bears definitely have power, especially if we do see confirmation below a major critical macro higher low, which is right here again at 42.90. Any candle closure below there, I will be looking for significant continuation to the next major level, all the way down again at 41.40 here until proven otherwise. And right now, same thing here. We broke through support, back tested it with a huge move up that I guarantee you everybody was like, oh shit, this is it, fucking major low, let's fucking go. Just kidding. Wrecked, rejection, back below, confirms new tentative resistance, and now sees follow through, continuation to the downside. So the pressure is on to the downside, in my opinion. It is, in my opinion, also very likely we see this level break to the downside and confirm a change of behavior, which would spell, in my opinion, continuation to the downside. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I would never tell you what to do with your trades and investments. And if you do trade or invest based off the speculative content that is provided to you, you're a fucking dumbass. Do your own research. At the end of the day, do your own research. But that's my perspective. That's what I'm looking for on SPY futures here. I know someone wants QQQ, change of behavior confirmed already on this one. Follow through to a huge target to the downside at 335 here, bounces back up, confirms new tentative resistance, continues, bounces back up again, and gets rejected again. I will be looking for continuation back down to 335 here for this one. Any open and closure below 335 spells a big move, in my opinion, to the downside, even more so, all the way to 316. And again, a lot of these charts look very similar right now. Coiling beginning to open up here in the bearish control zone for RSI, and stochastics, same thing. Weak, non-convincing cross to the upside in the bearish critical zone. We could easily see stuff like coiling action in this control zone for all of the assets that have been observed today. Same thing, unless we break resistance, right? I'm not going to be looking for anything else. But if we do break resistance for whatever reason above 353 spot 60, I'll look for continuation to 365-ish, and maybe even a bounce to the 21 exponential. But again, as stated in the previous assets, even if we see that, yes, it's tradable, and if you trade it, cool. You know what to look for, just like I know what to look for. But I would also know that until we confirm new highs above the last lower high at 389. We'll just call it 390. I am not convinced of bullish continuation or macro trend continuation to new all-time highs. And up until that point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have skeptical bearish goggles on my face, and I'm going to be looking for lower high after lower high after lower low after lower low and downtrend continuation until proven otherwise. What's next? AMC. Ha! That's all I want to say about AMC. You guys are a bunch of fucking idiots with this asset. I swear to God. A bunch of idiots with AMC. And look, some people try to argue with me on Facebook. I had plenty of evidence and observational evidence about AMC to shut everyone's mouth, which was a really good feeling. But I got a lot of comments saying you don't know what you're talking about, blah 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 blah. Diamond hands, diamond hands, diamond hands, diamond hands. And again, just like I told those, I'm going to tell you guys, diamond hand all you want. Hodl all you fucking want and just let your profits go down the toilet. Go ahead. That's fine. Yeah! Woo! You have diamond hands that no one fucking cares about. Nobody. Nobody cares that you have diamond hands. Nobody cares that you're down 90%. Nobody cares that your entire life savings is now in the fucking shitter because you made a stupid decision not to do research about an asset that you were investing in, like I did. And again, I don't even I look at charts. That's all I do, ladies and gentlemen. All the money, all the profits, all the successful trades that I accumulate week after week after week after week. The only thing I research are charts and technical analysis. Again, this is why I'm such a stickler for I don't care about news, I don't care about the government, I don't care about your opinion, because at the end of the day, the chart can make you choke on your opinion like a big fat dick. You're gonna choke on it, especially if you're wrong. Do your research. Look at a chart, people. AMC is a perfect example of why you shouldn't pay attention to the hype, the excitement, the news, the media, this and that. AMC's doing this, AMC's doing that. No one cares. You know what? You know who really doesn't care? The chart. The chart doesn't give a flying shit. It doesn't. And we are seeing huge evidence of that. Let's look at the measured move to the downside from all-time high. Boom. From a candle body perspective, we're not even doing wicks in this example here, to the current price action. Congratulations. Those of you that bought at $65, you're now 75% in the hole. Excellent. You're so smart by hodling every fucking thing that you have. You're so smart. So smart. All right, I think that's the end of my rant. Let's go ahead and do some analysis on this. AMC rejecting resistance once again. Doesn't look good. I am still looking for continue. I mean, we've already met the next target to the downside, which again, I don't want to come on here and toot my own horn, but toot motherfucker, I said 1450. Guess what? 1450. If those of you that watch my channel aren't convinced the technical analysis works, man, you're in the wrong location. You might want to go to a hodler's YouTube channel. Someone who's not making money. But 1450 has been met. We saw a little bit of, indecision here in the market. Boom, a little bit of a pump up, just like the rest of the market. I think this one's tied to NASDAQ, right? I think so. AMC, no, New York Stock Exchange. AMC is tied to NYSE. But, same sentiment. Pretty bearish, right? Pretty bearish. Seeing downside continuation here after rejecting tentative resistance. Not necessarily closing on new lows, but there's a lot of evidence that suggests that this could be a weak move to the upside here. Stochastics, same thing. Not a very convincing cross to the upside. Coming off of new lows. Lowest we've been since... Oh, I don't know why I did that. Oh, there's a lock. How did I... What the fuck? What did I do? Oh, crap. AMC. Coming back to AMC. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what happened to my cursor here. Back to stochastics here. Again, lowest it's been since this point here, which was back in February 2021. So it's been quite some time since we've seen stochastics this low. RSI, lowest has been for quite some time as well. Actually, the lowest has been since 2020. Definitely showing you that downside pressure being applied here again. And this is just personal opinion. I could be proven wrong. Just because I'm, cocky and confident in my analysis does not mean I can't be wrong. I don't even think this one is worth $16. This one was never worth any price that it was ever at, in my opinion. Look at the chart. It's been a dick chart its entire existence. A dick, like an ass, like what is this? How do you open and then bearish your entire... Right? The evidence is there to suggest that this chart never should have pumped the way it pumped. Vast evidence that there was a huge short squeeze that was controlled by social media. And guess what? The hedgies and the mutual funds and the billionaires, guess what? They learned a valuable lesson, and I am very confident that they're not going to let shit like this happen again. They're not going to allow themselves to lose billions of dollars like they did in AMC. It's not going to happen. You think you're smarter than them? Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. Oh my God! It's so funny, you guys. What I see on Facebook, I'm part of that community. I'm a member of Wall Street Bets. I'm a member of that community for one reason: laughter. Pure laughter. Because I'm telling you, man, I've seen maybe 5 technical analysis related posts in that group ever, and the rest of them. The rest of them are AMC, hodl, diamond hands, and then other posts are, I'm down 30 grand, I'm down 60 grand. Why did you tell me to buy at 65? Because you're an idiot. Sorry. That's the truth of the matter. Unless we see closures on new highs for AMC above $30. I am not convinced of any bullish momentum here. We could see a pop back up above tentative resistance, current resistance here, maybe to test the 21 exponential, and maybe to test this resistance at $23.30. But I'm on lower high watch until proven otherwise, and the proof otherwise would be structural higher highs, right? Higher highs above a major level on this price action chart in confluence with closures above the 21, right? Because that's what I trade. But we are below the 21. We are seeing massive divergence between the 21 and price action here, which does suggest, yeah, we could see a push back up to the 21, but again, until I see structural higher highs, man, this one is aiming for the dirt. It's aiming for the dirt. Aiming for fucking AMC. Hall of Fame Village, same thing, except I don't have anything funny to say about the Hall of Fame, only because I am a long-term investor on this asset. We did see closures on new lows here. Again, as stated before, anytime I pull up the Fibonacci, I think I have an extension up here right now. Yeah, I do have an extension, but I don't have a retracement. Let me show you one more time what the retracement does, right? I'm going from, major low to major high with the Fibonacci retracement. So we're going to do major low and major high. Oh my God, it fucking works today? What the fuck? Oh no, that's not the major high. I was like, what? Yeah, that blue candle there is the major high. I'm pretty sure I'm at the top of it, right? Oh, I almost shit myself. But this is what happens here. Here's the first level. Oh, I do have 2 of them. First level is the one spot 272, negative 50 cents. Negative 50 cents. So as far as the downside targets are concerned, I did the research on Fibonacci ratios. I did the research, right? I looked for potential Fibonacci numbers that I was missing, and I'm not missing that many, right? The one spot 272 Fibonacci retracement is the closest to the one as possible for the Fibonacci retracement tool that I could identify. And it puts it at negative 49 cents. And I do not think that's a realistic target. I do think there's something wrong here. But as far as price action is concerned, what are we seeing? Another lower high, ladies and gentlemen. We got another lower high that has confirmed as a lower high and printed on new lower lows, right? Closure lower lows, right? This was the last low here, right around $1.14, and now we see closures on $1.12. That is lower lows. We see stochastics very weak, very weak. Like, oh my gosh, freaking weak. Yeah, cross up, but I mean, if you can't tell that that's a weak ass, non-convincing cross to the upside, I don't know what will. RSI giving you that, picture perfect lower high structure here, rejecting the top side of the bearish control zone and pointing back to the downside. The Hall of Fame is really not the greatest looking. In my, if my mentors were looking at this chart, they'd say it's a piece of shit, because as of currently, it is a pile of shit that's doing nothing as far as price action movement is concerned, except dying slowly, which I'm going to take as an opportunity. I'm going to buy as many shares as I possibly can, as low as I possibly can, because this is a long-term investment, right? This is the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't Hall of Fame get delisted before going negative? No, it would not. If you remember, I don't know if I ever talked about this, and I don't know if the evidence of that is still on the chart. Let me pull it up real quick. So, the price action that you see on this chart has been repaired, altered, evidence purposely removed. So I was watching this asset during the coronavirus crash, right? When I watched the coronavirus crash back in 2020, February, March of 2020, crude oil was the one that caught my attention the most. Now, if you look at crude oil here, and again, Matt, this is to answer your question. If you look at crude oil, it says that the lowest wick was at $9.93, and I'm here to tell you that is subjective fucking bullshit. I watched crude oil go to negative 10 cents, and it took them 3 months to scratch that price action off the chart because it fucking happened. A dude put like $8 grand into crude oil at like 50 cents before it went negative and made $5 million off of it. But guess what? They eliminated the evidence. The evidence is gone. It's like that this one never went negative, when in fact it truly did. A lot of people say, no it didn't, no it didn't, no it didn't, no it didn't. I'm gonna have to go through all my pictures to see if I have a screenshot, because I'm certain I took a screenshot of crude oil. And I'm certain you guys remember, somebody that watches has to remember crude oil going into the negatives, because it went into the negatives. I promise. That's what scared the shit out of me. That's why I think, at the time, again, I was a little less educated than I am today with technical analysis. But 2 years ago in 2020, I was scared shitless, thinking that we were going into a Great Depression and all this crazy shit was going down, only to find out that it was a scheme. It was a scheme to take profits, get everyone to sell so that the big investors can push the markets lower so that they can buy in at dirt cheap prices and ride the profit waves. So to answer your question, no. If it hits negatives, that does not mean it will get delisted. Now, with a new asset like the Hall of Fame, I can't. Again, anything that I tell you guys, again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, because I can't be 100% certain that what I'm saying is 100% accurate, right? But from my experience, for what I saw during the coronavirus crash, crude oil, this exact one, crude oil. OIL_CRU went straight into the negatives during the coronavirus crash, and then TradingView decided to do one of these, sweep it under the rug, and they got rid of the wick. This wick went all the way fucking down, like I'm talking all the way all the way down, and TradingView eliminated the evidence, which is unfortunate, because some dirty shit. Act like your fucking asset never went into the negatives when it really fucking went into the negatives is kind of gargantuous bullshit. But I digress. You can see the results after the coronavirus crash, an immaculate bull market, crude oil closing on all-time highs. You get the picture. Just because an asset goes into the negatives does not mean it will be delisted. I mean, hell, there are penny stocks worth nothing. I mean, there are cryptocurrencies worth 1/1,000,000th of a penny that are listed on TradingView, that are listed with some exchange that you can trade it on. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll get delisted. It just means I don't know where price action can go for the Hall of Fame. Because again, seeing a Fibonacci retracement level that low, negative 50 cents, is unrealistic. And I make it a goal to be as realistic with you guys as possible. We do have a lower high. I'd look for $1. maybe we could start thinking of psychological levels here. I'd look for $1. Psychologically, people think maybe $1 is it. There's no fibs, there's no supports, there's no resistances, there's no evidence to suggest a bounce anytime soon. And there's no evidence to suggest that negative 49 cents is an accurate analysis for the Hall of Fame Village. So this is one of those examples where the best I can tell you guys is I don't fucking know. But I do know something. This is not looking good. It's not looking good. It doesn't have bullish momentum. It doesn't have pressure to the upside. All the pressure is bearish at the current moment in time. And until proven otherwise, I'm going to be looking for this one to decline into the dirt. What is that proof otherwise, you may ask? Currently $1.31. Well, you know what? We'll round it. We'll call it a buck. We'll call it $1.30. Closures above $1.30 would be closures on new highs. Now, structural, that's arguable. I think the next structural high is right here at $1.81. But we did just confirm a lower high, which means we technically have a new change of behavior point for the Hall of Fame Village at about $1.30. And if I do see price action break the $1.30 region here, I'll look for another test of the 21 exponential. But again, we've seen these little tops that, you know, bust up to the 21 exponential and just confirm yet another structural lower high before seeing downtrend continuation. So the thing that will convince me that we are seeing a true reverse in momentum would be candle closures back above $1.81. And until then, I'm going to be looking for lower high after lower low after lower high after lower low, which is unfortunate for a lot of people. I know we have one member who's asking questions. I'm not going to mention her name, but she did ask a question. It looks like Hall of Fame will drop to only 50 cents soon. I wonder what will happen if it keeps dropping. Will it be unlisted in the stock market? Any thoughts? Truthfully, no. It's not going to get delisted unless the Hall of Fame Village project fails. Now that's something to consider. If that project fails, then yeah, we could see a delisting for the Hall of Fame Village. But they're like a quarter. They got shit built. They got shit halfway built. I don't see, I don't see the NFL failing. I just don't. I don't. Hell, I watched a football game that I didn't even want to watch, and it was one of the greatest football games I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you guys seen it, Kansas City versus the Bills. That shit was fucking wild. That shit was wild. And 99% of football fans will definitely say the same. And, like, I don't know, everyone loves football. Like, I don't know that many people that aren't interested in football. I talk about football. It's the NFL, guys. This is the NFL, right? And do I see the NFL failing? Do I see the NFL allowing a project like the Hall of Fame Village to never come to fruition? Nah, because I think the NFL sees profits in the Hall of Fame Village. So, while it looks bad, guys, again, not financial advice, but from my perspective, I'm looking at this as a long-term investment. A long-term investment. And if it makes anybody else feel any better, I am currently 37% down on my investment. My original entry point was $1.80. I bought 500 shares at $1.80, and I've been sitting on them. The first 300 were bought here, and the other 200 were bought here. I bought them at two separate times, but guess what? At the same fucking price, $1.80. A limit order for $1.80 for 300 shares back in early 2021, January 2021, and then another limit order for 200 more at $1.80 somewhere in December. I think it was like just before Christmas when I made that decision, and my order executed. I have 500 shares at $1.80, and currently I'm down 37%. Do I give a shit? Absolutely not. Guys, I have to go back. If you're gonna hodl an asset, I would follow these two rules. First rule, make it a new one. SHIB is a new asset. SHIB is brand fucking new. Shiba Inu, the cryptocurrency that everyone's hyping about, that shit is brand new. Brand new. That's a HODL asset. The Hall of Fame, brand new. That's a HODL asset. AMC at $65. Not a new asset, and definitely not a brand new investment. Guys, got to do your research, man. If you're going to HODL an asset, make sure it's something that you can legitimately HODL and have some kind of faith, some kind of confidence in, like the Hall of Fame. I have confidence in 5 years when the project is built that this stock is going to go through the fucking roof because people spend billions of dollars every year on football shit, including me. Including me. I buy a jersey almost every year. Still looking for a Nick Chubb jersey, but I can't find one. But people spend money on football because football's fucking awesome. Football's not going anywhere. I have confidence in the Hall of Fame. I've done research. I've watched football. I've been a football fan since I was born. I came out of the womb with a Browns jersey on. So I know the football economy. And you can't expect an asset. Again, like, I know sometimes I get annoyed with the questions. I'm trying to be as nice as possible, but I don't know how many times I have to say it. The project, period, is not, period, finished yet, period. How can you expect a project, period, that is not finished, period, to have a stock, period, that explodes, period? You can't. That's the answer. The Hall of Fame Village isn't even done, guys. It's not even built yet. And like, for those of you that may say, yeah, you don't know, I fucking live here. I literally live here. I'm just saying. It's not even built yet, guys. Have patience. Even if you bought it $4, even if you bought it $6, don't you imagine that a multi-billion-dollar industry such as the NFL has the capabilities to push a stock far beyond the current all-time highs? You don't have any faith that this one could be a $20 stock, a $50 stock, a $100 stock? No faith at all? It's the NFL, man. I think that the NFL could have as much potency as something like Microsoft or Apple, because in my opinion, there are enough football fans in this country that could tie the amount of customers that Apple gets every year. More. Come on, it's a big market. It's a market that has a lot of juicy potential. And again, I could be wrong. But it's the NFL. And I don't remember a time where the NFL was going through a struggle, losing money, failing, blah, 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 blah. You know why? Because I've seen a fucking Super Bowl every single year since I came out of the womb. So for the Hall of Fame, yes, it's bad. It's ass. It looks like shit right now. I'm going to be looking for prices to go lower. But at the end of the day, I'm excited because I'm doing this. How many shares can I grab before this project is finished? And this project starts revenuing millions upon millions upon millions of dollars a fucking month. Billions a year. When? When does that time come? When do people from all across the globe come and spend thousands of dollars on a water park in fucking Canton? When does that happen? Give it time, guys. Give the Hall of Fame Village some time. I'm going to go ahead and move on. We got some Bitcoin, Bitcoin to look at here. Again, not confirmed yet for Bitcoin here, but looking for another lower high. If we do get a lower high today and only today with a closure below here or lower, what is it at? 35,890. 35,890 or lower likely flags you that lower high call on the RSI. Excuse me. And we likely see continuation to new lows, to lower lows. Yes, I know we have a little bit of an uptrend here formulating on stochastics, but again, I think for this one, I'm looking at RSI a bit more. Rejecting the negatively sloped exponential here, confirming that top call. Well, not confirmed. Again, we have to wait for closure before it's confirmed. Anything can happen. We have time left in the day. This could easily revert back up above resistance and start testing the 21, close above resistance. But the way it looks right now, there is a top flag here on my RSI, which tells me if we close here or lower, we will have a confirmed top upon closure in 17 hours, 51 minutes. And I will have no choice but to look for the next target here towards 29,700, which is like you know, that's the last major level before we see a multi-$1,000 decline. I mean, this would be a multi-$1,000 decline, but if we keep breaking these supports here, all that's going to happen, in my opinion, are multi-$1,000 decline after multi-$1,000 declines here. The only thing that suggests upside momentum here is stochastics, but I am not convinced. As long as price action remains above the current low, of course, we're going to see stochastics here carry the momentum to the upside. But again, that's why I'm paying attention more to the RSI. I think RSI carries more weight than stochastics sometimes, and I think in this instance it does. Again, until proven otherwise, that's it. That's all I'm looking at for Bitcoin. If we don't confirm a high, I would look for another stab at 38,000, maybe a little bit above the test of 21, around 40 grand. But if we confirm a lower high, I'm looking for massively new lows, all the way down to like 29,750. That would be the first target that I'm going to be looking for here if we confirm yet another lower high. Again, we are coming off of structural lower lows, and some could say, oh, but Brian, we could have a trend line. Right, we could. But again, I need to see, we do have a low here, and we do technically have the beginning etchings of an uptrend line here. But I need to see follow through before I say, yep, that's it. That's the macro structural higher low that we need to be paying attention to. Not in confluence with this low here in September, but with this low here all the way back in July. I need to see continuation, not a lower high. A lower high is not going to convince me that this is a valid trend line. Holy shit. Babe, I'm streaming. Scared the shit out of me. That was my wife. Whoo! Whoo! What was I saying before my door? Dude, I thought someone was in my house and it was my wife. Whoo! Got that heart beating going a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Like I want to kill something because someone's in my house, but it was my wife, so I can't because I love her. Lower high. If we confirm a lower high here, there is no conversation of a diagonal trend line. I'm going to be looking for new lows. I'm going to be looking for this to open up, potentially open up a significant bear market to the downside and continue towards 29,750 first. Outside of that, the only thing that would prove me otherwise would be, structural higher highs, which at the current moment is at $44,000. And until price action reverts back above $44,000, I don't have any confidence in looking for all-time highs in the near future. Just lower highs, lower high after lower high after lower low after lower. You get the picture here. We're going to do these requests, and then that's what we're going to call it. LCID we're going to start with right now. Damn, it's been 51 minutes. This is a long stream, guys. Thank you. I wanted to have a better time with this today. We're going to clear this chart. I did say I wanted to clear some charts tonight and basically show you how I'm laying stuff out here. And look at that. I'm gonna go off of a low basis here. I'm gonna point to the low, so I'm pointing to this one. We do have we did see a little bit of an open below it, but it classifies it. It's good. I'm gonna look at this one right here. I'm gonna be looking some highs. Oh, plenty of touch points here. Again, you're looking for touch points. If you want validity on your horizontal support or resistance, look for those touch points, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of resistance here. You kind of had to know that if we saw a break above that, we were going to explode the way we did. Oh, LCID making some unconventional fucking moves. Ooh. See, it's that 21, ladies and gentlemen. Confirmation below the 21, in confluence with confirmation below the 50 read on RSI, in confluence with a closure below the 50 read on stochastics. I'm looking for continuation on this one. 29.20 is the next target until proven otherwise. Yes, I know. I hear you complaining, but it's not valid. There's no validity here with the diagonal trend line potentially confirming. I think this could be a little bit negative here. Yes, in the future, could we see a structural higher low formulate? Yeah, for sure. But that's not what I'm looking at for right now. Looking at continuation. Momentum is down on the daily time frame, and until proven otherwise, I will be looking for $29 to be the next target to the downside here. The only proof otherwise would be a low, and a low right now, back above the 21 exponential, back above the current lower high. We are in the beginning etchings, and this downtrend, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, as of today, has been confirmed, right? Fully confirmed. Now, at the beginning of this formation, all-time high. Ooh, we get a little bit of, we get some, higher low possibilities here, and then we start consolidating, and then we get, boom, a structural lower high. What was the missing piece? What was the missing piece? That's right, the lower low. And guess what? Boom. There's your lower low. Downtrend has been, again, from a conservative perspective. Now, from an aggressive perspective, as soon as that lower high confirmed, there's your downtrend. But I like conservative trading more because I think it's more profitable sometimes. And look at that. We got new lows and follow-through continuation with a candle closure, confirming new tentative resistance. That spells moves to the $29 region here. And until proven otherwise, that is going to be my target to the downside for LCID. Pop back up to tentative resistance at $36. Maybe on the shorter term time frames could happen, but again, we just confirmed new tentative resistance. I'm going to be looking for it to act as tentative resistance until confirmed as new tentative support, which means it's more probable that we see downside continuation for LCID, as we have, again, just confirmed a downtrend in this formation. Yes, we could confirm a structural higher low somewhere in confluence with this low here that was confirmed on the 1st of September 2021, but that leaves all this price action all the way down to $20.50 here, wide fucking open. So again, until proven otherwise, I am biased to the downside for LCID. Apple, AP, same thing, same sentiment. I'm deleting this chart. We're gonna start over. Boom, ceiling of resistance. Multiple, oh, mother whore. Plenty of touch points here. There's your ceiling of resistance. A nice support that has been broken, confirmed as tentative resistance, and continued. Ooh, price action's resting on support for this one. For this, this one's a NASDAQ, isn't it? Yeah, this one's a NASDAQ. While this one isn't necessarily, in any danger right now, because we technically could see a macro high or low at 157. Let me draw that. Let me draw the trend line here. It looks kind of like the U.S. dollar here. Got a nice little trend line, plenty of touch points here to the upside. We've already met that target to the downside once. It is possible. Again, it is possible. Just because the index is down doesn't mean every single stock with that index has to suffer completely. This is Apple, by the way. At the end of the day, we are holding support at the current, although there is pressure being applied to that support, we are holding support. Any closure below that support, I will be looking for a full move all the way down to 147.50. However, as long as we hold the support, I do suggest that a move back up to 168 is very possible. But until we close back above that 168 region here, I'm not looking for any new, any test of the current all-time high ceiling resistance here, especially because that's where the 21 exponential is perfectly aligned with the next resistance. But since NASDAQ is implying pressure to the downside, I have to remain sentimental with this one and suggest downside pressure as well. Why? Maybe that doesn't work. Yeah, it does kind of work. We'll see a little couple stabs below it, no confirmations below that, but we're breaching a little bit of a diagonal trend line here in the formation and confirming with continuation below. The pressure is on to the downside. We're below the 50 read. We're in the bearish critical zone for stochastics, lowest it's been since 2020. Again, a lot of these stochastics formations haven't been this low since 2 fucking years ago, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 2 years. Again, that's why historical relevance is important. But it hasn't been that low since 2020, which tells me this one, this one's pretty much on. If we are going to confirm a low here, that would be cool. That would be really cool for this asset because that likely leads to uptrend continuation to new all-time highs. But again, breaking this support puts things at a little bit of a disadvantage here, but realistically we could do that. And as long as we're above this support here at 139.70, we are technically above the last macro high or low, technically. And a change of behavior won't be confirmed until we see open and closures below that region. So we're below the 21. Pressure is applied to the downside. Again, this is just my own personal bias. Look for each and every possibility, to the upside, to the downside, to the sideways. But I am a little bit more biased to the downside since everything else is kind of dying. That's kind of my sentiment on Apple. 3 more. MSFT, Microsoft Corp, NASDAQ. Same fucking thing. Same thing. Actually met the 21 exponential, got rejected. I will be looking for continuation back down 2 new lows towards 281.67. Any candle closure below there spells disaster in my opinion. The next major level is all the way down at 262.30, unless, of course, we confirm back above tentative support, or tentative resistance, and flip it to confirm new tentative support, at which point I would be looking for moves up to like 322.50, and that is if we confirm above 305, right? But more conservatively, I am looking at the 21 exponential, and open and closures above the 21 exponential would convince me even more. Now, we do have a lower high in the formation here to be in consideration of. We're going to mark that off as a critical level. If I do see closures above this red line of resistance, that will confirm a change of behavior from the bullish perspective. And again, from the bullish perspective, we have not initiated a change of behavior in Microsoft just yet. Just because the index is declining, and just because the index has already confirmed macro lower lows, does not necessarily mean individual stocks within that index has done the same, right? And so far, Apple and Microsoft, neither one of them have initiated a change of behavior. And while I am kind of convinced that we likely see that initiate at some point in time anyway, anything is possible. So for now, that's kind of my sentiment here. Unless we see a closure above 322.75, I'm looking for bearish pressure to the downside towards the next level. I am, again, looking for price action after this rejection of the 21 to see a decline towards 281.50 again. Crow. We got 2 more, ladies and gentlemen, and I gotta get off here. My wife's home. What was it? FTX? No, we weren't looking at. I always forget which one we were looking at. Let's do a new one. I mean, definitely a downtrend. Definitely a downtrend for this one. Ceiling of resistance here. Yeah, same thing as Bitcoin here, but this one's closer to the 21 exponential. I think if this breaks to the downside, things get way worse than they are right now. But we are seeing support at the $33 level. Nice little test of the 21 exponential, currently flagging a lower high in the formation, which in my opinion spells disaster for cryptocurrency. Again, likely if we see continuation on Bitcoin, we likely see continuation to the downside on this one as well. Price action hits that 21, gets rejected, still remains below the 21, and pressure is implied to the downside. Again, just because we see an initial break of the exponential does not mean shit without confirmation, and currently we are looking to not confirm that with a potential break back below the exponential with that lower high call. Again, we have not confirmed higher highs or higher lows. We have just been confirming lower highs and lower lows along this entire formation, and until that sentiment changes, I'm going to be looking for price action to decline towards 33 cents initially, and if we see continuation on Bitcoin to the next level down, the only next level down that's valid in my opinion for this one is 22 cents, which is a 33% decline. That's a 33% decline. That's a 33% decline. That's a big move to the downside, and that's the only target I have for the downside for this one. You know what? Fine. 24 cents. 2 cents more. Doesn't matter. In my opinion, we could land anywhere in this, in between these two horizontals right here, and between 22 cents and 24 cents if price action declines. But again, pressure is implied to the downside, except for stochastics, which in my opinion is flashing some false bullshit right now, because this is rejection. There is no other evidence of upside momentum on this one other than a couple of bullshit days, getting rejected by the 21 and seeing a huge move on the stochastics until we close back above this resistance at 50 cents. in confluence with likely Bitcoin closing above a major level as well, I am not going to be looking for continuation to the upside. Now, is it possible to see a test to the 50-cent region? Yeah, it's possible, but we likely see lower highs. We likely see lower highs, again, until the trend in cryptocurrency flips and gives me confidence that it's no longer in a bearish formation. I am going to remain bearish on these assets. AVAX USD is going to be the last one, and then I'm going to get off of here real quick. Probably the same thing, right? Exactly the same thing. Lower high, going to be looking for the next level to the downside, especially if Bitcoin continues as well towards 53.90, unless we break resistance at 69 spot. We'll just call it $70. If we do see breaks above $70, I will look for the next resistance, which is perfectly aligned with the 21 exponential here. But again, from a macro perspective, I don't get macro bullish until we take out the last lower high, which is around $94. Until that sentiment is, is confirmed, I'm pretty bearish on this. Now, closing below $54 spells disaster. Spells disaster. And we've seen big bear markets in this before. We could be looking at another bear market. Again, we could be looking at the bear market. The only thing that would convince me otherwise for this one would be closures. Again, yeah, above $94. Opening and closing above the 21 would definitely start the convincing for the bullish market for this one. But again, stochastics, I don't care. Lately I really haven't cared about a lot of these stochastics movements just because they don't articulate the accuracy of what price actions are really doing. I've been focusing more on RSI in this bearish market because, again, this one is getting it right a lot of the times right now, and seeing rejection of the exponential here, confirming another lower high. If confirmed, only spells continuation to the next level down towards $54. So that's going to do it for the stream, everybody. That's going to do it for the last request. Thanks for coming by. If you did watch the stream, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. Thanks for being here, everybody. And you know what it is. As always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.